Hello everyone and welcome back to Super Sundays. My name is Troy and hope you are all safe and having a wonderful weekend. Alright, so we're going to get straight into the charts as always. We're going to look at three pairs again, or three asset classes. We're going to look at Euro, Dollar, Euro, Yen and then Bitcoin. So the first two, so the currency pairs we did look at last week, so just following on from analysis from last week, looking at Euro Dollar, sorry. We did say that we were looking for shorts on this, looking for prices to come lower, eventually come towards the 104.50 level in and around here. And last week's candle the price is sort of struggling to push lower, but nonetheless it was a bearish candle. So we'll have to watch this quite closely. It's been quite choppy of late. So going to the daily time frame here, what we can see is price did break out of the trend line that we did put on here. So as you can see, we have this trend line. Price was here, I believe, last week, and then we waited for a pullback to this area. And once we go into the 4 hour, you can see that price didn't quite get back, but it did nonetheless still have a nice retest, and it did push higher than before coming lower. Friday's candle was did see a lot of profit taking last week in Euro Yen, so Euro Dollar. That's why prices did come up higher. But if you look at the chart, you can see that our bias is correct, and price did move lower last week. So last week was the date, the 20th, I believe, was Monday. So we were looking at price around here, and we said I want to see price tick a bit higher in and around this area and come down. It didn't quite make it all the way up to the top, to the trend line, but it did move higher and then break and push lower. So that's what we're looking for. First target is always around about first point of a trend line here would have been the first point, second, and then lower and lower. So we are still bearish on this currency pair, but this Friday's price action does sort of suggest price is looking to push higher before it does move lower. So if we do go to, first of all, the daily, I can have a bit of a clearer look at a Fibonacci play. So what we can do is put this on just here, okay, and A, B, C looking preferably around the 61.8, if not the 78.6. So watching in and around these areas. If we were to put a blind trade, also known as a set and forget, we would put this there. Stop loss has to be at the high, and then take profit. First one would be here, so 2.5 to 1. We will obviously watch it around this price in case it does decide to make a double bottom and then reverse from there, but we are still bearish on Euro Dollar. Okay, so if you didn't see our Instagram post, we did post on the FSM Trading page about dollar index being bullish, so this should move lower on Euro Dollar. So I'll leave that there for next week. We're going to look at Euro Yen now. So with Euro Yen, once again, we did have some analysis. It didn't play out as we thought it would, but it's interesting of how it played out. Last week's candle, we were looking for price to move higher, but we've got a bearish move. As you can see, price did break out of this sort of mini trend line here. It did touch the yellow line, which was the low from September last year, but it did reject the low. So it is still looking bullish, but we did get price to move lower just to take out those that were in long trades, and also just get a bit of liquidity below market lows of last year, September. So onto the daily time frame, what we can see similarly with Euro Dollar, so looks like a euro move. It would have been a bit of buying on the euro on Friday. So as you see, price came into this yellow level. It couldn't close below it at any point, having a bit of a tweezer bottom here, or you could say a hammer or pin bar, and then but it's a bit of a big body, and then price moving higher. So what we do have here is, if you go to the 4 hour time frame, just zoom out on this, we were looking for price to make this right shoulder here and then move higher. We didn't. We got a break below, and then it pushed higher and then did a nice break out here. What's interesting is, as you can see, the level we did mark out, this level of what was support did turn into resistance. So if you saw this, seen that it this would be, you know, when it's here, you might think it's a breakout. So if I just rewind it for you to around here, once you get price breaking to this point here, I might believe maybe it's a fake out. Let's see how it plays out. So get that out of the way. Let's skip forward in case you're thinking of possibly a fake out. Let's see what price does when it gets back up to these areas. I look for price to, before buying, I have to wait for price to get above here now, just because it's been a bit choppy, and to sell I have to see it break below this level once more. So we need, watching it, it did break below it again, and then as you can see, this here is quite key. That does show price is moving lower. What I would do here is I would move on to the 1 hour time frame, look for price to come in and around preferably this area again, but you could never think it will get all the way back there, you'll miss a lot of trades. So this area would be quite nice. Put a Fibonacci on it, if, well, assuming that we see a bottom here. So let's have a look. Nope, not quite yet. There. So once you see price get to this candle here, personally speaking, I would have got short from here, stop loss above here. If you're being safe, stop loss would have been above this point here, but because it's an hour time frame, you can be a bit more risky. So what you did see is, as price didn't close above, it did touch but didn't close above this level, you can still take the short. The short is still valid unless price closes above this level, and then you wait for it to show its hand once again, but it didn't close above the 78.6. What that means is that you have a short, and then the stop loss has to be just above the high here. As you can see, it would have been a nice tight stop loss, 30 pips, and the targets, I'll go to the high time frame again. If you're conservative, the this is the high that you put. I'll just mark it out just so I don't forget about it. So on here, what we do have is targets are, first target would be, or we watch around this low here, then you have the first and second target. Maybe zoom out to see what price is doing on the higher time frames. So there's not a lot in there, so not a lot of price action where it is now. So let us mark out roughly around there. When you're in such levels, it's difficult to find an actual solid target because there's not much trading going on in those levels, unless I go back to maybe 4 hour and go back into a couple of years where it was trading at these levels, but I don't think TradingView offers price at that time frame for that such a long time ago. So why did it not show our line? Right, visibility, let's go for that. There we are. Right, now on the 4 hour time frame, so first target would be around here, second, and then third. So let's just place it around the yellow line there. We can move forward now. See that it did start hovering around here. After seeing this, I'm looking to put my stop loss to break even, just because it's not looking to move much lower. So price now has been a bit choppy. We do have a bit of resistance in here. It's not nice price action, but we have to watch it and see what it wants to do. It may come for one more test and then push lower. That's what we think it will happen. So watch out for price to move up, back into the trend line, back up to the entry point around the 116.60 level, and then push lower. Finally, quickly, we're going to move on to Bitcoin. I think this has potential to move lower before we do see a tick higher. So monthly, what's the monthly looking like? Last month, looking bullish. Price did, well, it's a bearish candle, but price was unable to close below this low just here, suggesting that it's going to move higher. Weekly, it's going to move a bit higher. As you can see, it has pushed above this sort of area of resistance. However, if we do put a Fibonacci, and you can see it's making high, low, lower high, lower low, and then this high did close. So it didn't close above, but it's, you know, you could say it's a higher high. However, as it did, it's a swing failure. It didn't close above this higher, so we're looking for prices to move lower once more. So we're looking for price to possibly come up to 9,080 and then push lower. So, you know, if you have the skills to trade it up, that will be what you do on a short term. But then once it does get in and around here, so that will be a nice trade. Once it does get up there, short it, stop loss, I'll put it around there. Our main target, and then look for prices below that will be around 3,000, this low here. So the first few targets will be looks like we've got a bit of support around 7,050, then around 3,750, and then 3,000 altogether. Going on to the 1 hour. As you can see, 1 hour is moving higher, so if you do get a bit of a push down to this area, this is just for a short-term trade, possibly look to buy. Lines up with the 50, so 50, I'll put a stop loss just below the 61.8, so here, buy it up to the levels I did mention, so 7,800 I believe it was. Sorry, 9,000. So look to buy it up towards 9,080. So from where it is on the 1 hour, it's up to here, which would give a nice short-term trade. So something like that, so almost a 10 to 1, so nice trade, but you know that will take a while to get up to there. That's probably a swing trade, but you know, you can shave profits on the way up. So yeah, that's the end of this week's breakdown. Hope you have enjoyed what we did go through. Please keep up with our socials. We are posting a lot more analysis on the FSM official page and the FSM trading page. If you want us to analyze specific currencies or asset classes, please do put it in the comments below for us to look at next week. We do check the comments very, very often and reply, so if you even reply to this, put comments on it on maybe Thursday or Friday of next week, we will still try to get that put into analysis for next week's video. But yeah guys, thanks for watching. We hope you have a wonderful trading week and stay safe.